Happy lubrical! Happy lubrical!
Okay.
I bleed!
Many times.
Like Christmas. I love Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Do the rest of the show like that.
This is not good. It's not supposed to happen. Why did this happen? Nothing's planned. Never. Hello. Thank you. Like you.
Like so.
That's fun. Yeah. So, what is going on? Love that lubrical. Caesar. Oh my God.
Caesar. Drinking it for
Caesar's better.
Have you serious? Of a fine work. I am, but as you would say, a cobbler.
But what trade art you? Answer me directly.
A trade, sir. That. I'm
Gorilla Shakespeare.
Rejoice.
Wait, what?
It's called Gorilla
What
Shakespeare as a
conquest
group.
brings you
Oh.
Rome? Hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome, knew you not Pompey. Many a time and oft had you climbed up the walls and battlements, and when you saw his chariot but appear, made you not a universal shout that Tiber trembled underneath her banks to hear the replications of your sounds made in her concave shores. And now put on holiday? You now put on your best attire. Do you now strew flowers in his way that came in conquest over Pompey's blood? Go you down that way towards the Capitol. This way I will disrobe the images if you do find them decked with ceremonies. May we do so, you know it is the feast of the lubrical. It is no matter, let no images be hung with Caesar's
Wow, they're the
trophies.
best. Good.
All about and drive the vulgar from the streets. So do you too where you perceive them thick. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wing will make him fly an ordinary pitch. Who else would soar above the view of man and keep us all in servile fearfulness?
Huh? Who calls?
Let every noise be still. Peace yet again.
Who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a voice shriller than all music cries, Caesar! Speak, Caesar is turned to hear.
Beware the Ides of March.
Huh? What man is that?
Caesar, 'tis a soothsayer. He bids you beware the Ides of March.
Set him before me, let me see his face.
Come from the throng, fellow, look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once more.
Beware the Ides of March.
He's a dreamer. Let us leave him pass.
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
Oh, I pray you do.
I am not gamesome. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eye that gentleness and show of love as I want to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late, with passions of some difference, conceptions only proper to myself, that give some soil perhaps to my behaviors. But let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number Cassius, be you one, nor construe any further my neglect than that poor Brutus, at war with himself, forgets the shows of love to other men.
Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value. Worthy Carthage, tell me, Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other thing.
'Tis just, and 'tis very much lamented that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you may see your shadow.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek unto myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear, and since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I Your glass will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know nothing.
What means this general shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
I? Do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so.
I would not, though I do love him well. Wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it you would impart to me?
Well, honor is the subject of my story. I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but for my single self, I had as lief not be as lived to be in awe of such a thing as I myself. I was born free of Caesar. So were you. We are both fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. And this man is now become a god, and Cassius is a wretched creature that must bend his body of Caesar carelessly, but not at him. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and when the fit was on him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true, this god did shake. His coward lips did from their color fly, and that same eye, who spend doth all the world, did lose its luster. I did hear him groan, aye, and that the tongue of his that bade the Romans mark his speeches and write his in their books. Alas, it cried, give me some drink, Tiberius, as a sick girl. Ye gods, it doth amaze me, a man of such feeble temper should so get a start on the majestic world, and bear the palm alone.
Another general shout. I do believe these applauses are for new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
Why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men are sometimes the masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together, yours is as fair a name. Sound them, it doth become the mouth as well. Weigh them, it is as heavy. Conjure with them, Brutus will start a spirit as soon as Caesar. Now in the names of all the gods at once, upon what meat does this our Caesar feed? He is grown so great. Age, thou art shamed. Rome, thou hast lost a breed of noble bloods, and it is Rome indeed, and room enough, and there is in it but one only man.
That you love me, I am nothing jealous. What you work me to, I have some aim. Oh, how I've thought of this, and of these times I shall recount hereafter. But for this present I would not, so with love I might entreat you to any further move. What you have said I will consider. What you have to say I will with patience hear, and find a time both meet to hear and answer such high things. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than repute himself a son of Rome under such harsh conditions as this time is like to lay upon us.
I am glad that my weak words have struck thus much a show of fire.
The games are done. Caesar is returning.
Oh, as they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and he will, after some sour fashion, tell you what hath proceeded worthy note today.
I will do so. But look you the angry spot to flow on Caesar's brow.
Casca will tell us what the matter is.
Antonius?
Caesar?
Let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men in such sleepless nights. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He's a noble Roman, and well given.
Would he were fatter. But I fear him not. Yet if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid so soon as that spare Cassius. He reads much. He is a great observer and sees quite through the deeds of men. He loves no plays as thou dost, Antony. He hears no music. Seldom he smiles, and smiles in such a sort as if he were to mock himself and scorned his spirit that could be moved to smile at anything. I would rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I am afraid of, for always I am Caesar. Come on my right hand, for this ear is deaf, and tell me truly what thou thinkst of him.
Oh, Casca!
You hold me by the cloak? Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca. Tell us what hath chanced today that Caesar looks so sad.
You were just with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what had chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered him, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand. Thus, and then the people fell a-shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
Well, they shouted thrice. What was the last cry
Why, for
for?
that too.
The crown was offered him thrice?
Aye, marry it was. Well, being offered him, every time he put it by, he did it gentler than the other, and every time my honest neighbors shouted.
Who offered him the crown, Casca? Tell us the manner of it.
It became his telling you the manner of it. It was mere foolery, I will not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown. Yet 'twas not a crown, 'twas one of these coronets. And as I told you, he put it by. To my thinking, he would fain have had it. Then he was offered it again, and he put it by again. But to my thinking, he was very loath to take his fingers off of it. And then he was offered it a third time, and he put it the third time by. And the rabblemen hooted, and they clapped their chapped hands, and threw up their sweaty nightcaps, and uttered such a deal of stinking breath, because Caesar had refused the crown, that it had almost choked Caesar, for he swooned it, and he fell down in it. For mine own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving that bad air.
But soft, I pray you, what did Caesar swoon?
Why, he fell down in the marketplace, and foamed at the mouth, and was speechless.
'Tis very like he hath the failing sickness.
Oh no, Caesar hath not it, but you and I, and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I know he fell. If the rag people did not clap him and hiss him as they used to do the players in the theater, then I am no true man.
And what said he when he came unto himself?
Mary, before he fell down, when he perceived that the common herd was glad that he refused the crown, he plucked me of his doublet and offered them his throats to cut. Then he fell. When he came to himself again, he said, if he had done or said anything amiss, that he desired their worships to think it was his infirmity.
And after that he came thus sad away?
Did Cicero say anything?
Aye, he spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay, and I tell you that, I'll never look at you in the face again. But for those that understand, they smiled at each other and shook their heads. But for mine own part, it was all Greek to me. I can tell you more news too. Marilus and Flavius, for pulling scarves off of Caesar's images, they were put to silence. Fare you well. There was more foolery yet, if only I could remember it.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
If I be alive and your mind whole, then your dinner worth eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell. But
What a blunt fellow is this grown to be. He was quick mettle when he went to school, and so it is. For this time I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I'll come home to you. Or if you will, come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. See, thy honorable metal may be rot, from that it is disposed. Therefore it is met that noble minds keep ever with their likes, for who is so firm that cannot be seduced? I will, at this night, in several hands, as if they came from several citizens, throw at his windows writings, all tending to the great opinion that Rome bears of his name, where in obscurity Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after this, let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him, or worse days endure.
scolding whims have rived the naughty oaks, and I have seen the ambitious oceans swell and rage and foam, but never till tonight, never till now, did I go through a tempest-dropping fire. Either there is civil strife in heaven, or else the earth, too saucy with gods, incenses them to send destruction.
Indeed, it is a strange disposed time, but men may construe things clear from the purposes of the things themselves. Come Caesar to the Capitol tomorrow?
He doth.
Very
For
good.
he did bid Antonius tell you that he would be there tomorrow.
Good evening, Casca. This disturbed sky is not to walk in.
Farewell. Cassius, what night is this?
The most pleasing night to honest men.
Whoever knew the heavens could menace so.
Oh, those that have known the earth so full of fault. For my part, I have walked to the streets, submitting myself into the perilous night, and thus, unbraced, as you see, Casca, have bared my bosom to the thunderstone, and when the cross-blue lightning seemed to open the gates of heaven, I did present myself, even in the very aim and flash of it.
Wherefore did you so much tempt the heavens? It is the job of men to fear and tremble when the most mighty gods by token send such dreadful heralds to astonish us.
Now could I, Casca, name to thee the man most like this dreadful night that thunders, roars, lightens, opens graves as doth the lion in the Capitol? A man no mightier than thyself or me in personal action, yet prodigious grown and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar that you speak of, is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is, for Romans now have hooves and limbs like their ancestors, but woe the while. Our fathers' minds are dead. We are governed with our mother's spirit. Our yoke and sufferance show us womanish.
Indeed, they say that the Senate today means to crown Caesar as king, and he shall wear his crown by land and sea in every place, save here Italy.
Oh, then I know I will wear this dagger then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. Therein, ye gods, you make the weak most strong. Therein, ye gods, tyrants do defeat. Nor stony tower, nor walls of beaten brass, nor airless dungeon, nor strong links of iron can be retentive to the strength of spirit. But life, being wary of these worldly bars, never lacks the power to dismiss itself. If I know this, know all the world besides, that part of tyranny that I do bear, I can shake off at pleasure.
So can I. So can every man in his hand holds the power to cancel his captivity.
Why, then, should Caesar be a tyrant? Poor man, I know he would not be a wolf, but that he sees Romans are but sheep. He were no lion, were Romans not hinds. Those that with haste will make a mighty fire, begin it with weak straws. What trash is Rome? What rubbish and what offal when it serves to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar? But, oh, grief, where hast thou led me? Perhaps I speak this before a willing bondman. Therein I know my answer must be made, but I am armed, and dangers are to me indifferent.
You speak to Casca, and to such a man there's no flaring telltale. Hold my hand, and I will set this foot as far as the one who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made. Now know you, Casca, I have sent already some of the noblest-minded Romans to undergo with me a siege of honorable, dangerous consequence. I know by this they stay for me in Pompey's port, but there is no stir or walking in the streets tonight, much like the complexion of the element we have in hand, most fiery, bloody, and most terrible.
Oh, stand close a while, for here comes one in haste.
Oh, 'tis Cinna. I know him by his gait, he's a friend. Cinna, Where haste you so?
Find out you. Is that metal a Cimber?
Oh, no, it is Casca, one incorporate to our attempts. Tell me, sinner, am I not stateful?
I'm glad on it. What a fearful night is this. There's 2 or 3 who have seen strange sights.
Tell me, am I not stateful?
Yes, you are. Cassius, if you could win but noble Brutus to our party.
Be you content, good sinner. Take this, and look you lay this on the praetor's chair where Brutus may but find it. Throw this in at his windows, set this up with wax upon old Brutus's statue. All is done, repair to Pompey's porch.
Aye.
Is Trebonius in Metallus-Cimber then?
All but metal is Cimber, but he has gone to seek you at your house. I will high and so bestow these papers with which you gave me.
All is done, repair to Pompey's theater. Come, Casca. You and I will yet ere the day see Brutus in at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already, but the man entire, upon the next encounter, yields him ours.
No cause of spurn at him, but for the general. He would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. And to speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affection swayed more than his reason. But 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, where to the climber upward turns his face. But when he once attains the upmost rung, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks into the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar may, then lest he may prevent. And since the quarrel will bear no color for the thing he is, fashion it thus that what he is augmented would run to these and these extremities, and therefore think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched, would as his kind grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
The taper burneth in your closet, sir. Searching the window for a flint, I have found this paper, thus sealed up, and I am sure it did not lie there when I went to bed.
Went you to bed, it is not dead. Is not the tomorrow boy the Ides of March?
I know not, sir.
Look in at the calendar, bring me word.
I will, sir.
Brutus, thou sleepst, awake and see thyself. Shall Rome and etc. speak, strike, redress? Brutus, thou sleepst, awake. Such instigations have often been dropped where I have took them up. Shall Rome and etc. This must I piece out. Shall Rome stand under one man's awe? What? Rome? My ancestors did from the streets of Rome the Tarquin drive when he was called a king. Speak, strike, redress. Am I entreated to speak and strike? O Rome, I make thee promise, if the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
Sir, March is wasted 14 days.
'Tis good. Go to the gate, somebody knocks. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim is light, a phantasma or a hideous dream.
I think we are too bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus. Do we trouble you?
I have been up this hour, awake all night. Know I these men who come along with you?
Yes, every man of them, and no man here but honors you, and every one doth wish you had that same opinion that every noble Roman bears. This is Trebonius.
He is welcome hither.
This Cinna, this Casca, this Cinna, and this Metallus-Cimber.
They are all welcome. Give me your hands, all over, one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
No, not an oath. If not the face of men, the sufferance of our souls, the time's abuse. What need we any spur but our own cause to prick us to redress? What other bond than secret Romans who have spoke the word and will not palter? And what other oath than honesty? To honesty engage that this shall be or we shall fall for it? Swear priests and cowards and men, cautelous, old feeble carrions, and such suffering souls as do welcome wrongs, unto bad causes swear. Such creatures as men doubt. But do not stain the even virtue of our enterprise, or the insuppressive metal of our spirits to think that our cause or our performance did need an oath, when every drop of blood that every Roman bears, and nobly bears, is guilty of a several bastardy if he do break the smallest particle of any promise that hath passed from him.
But what of Cicero? Should we sound him? I think he shall stand very strong with us.
Indeed, let us not leave him out.
No, by no means.
Oh, let us have him, for his silver hair shall purchase us a good opinion, and by men's voices to commend our deeds. It shall be said, his judgment ruled our hands, our wit and youth, but shall no wit apply, but all be buried in his gravity.
No, name him not. Let us not break with him. He will never follow anything that other men begin.
Then leave him out.
Indeed, he is not fit.
Shall no man else be touched but only Caesar?
Trebonius, well urged. I think it is not met. Mark Antony, so well beloved, if Caesar should outlive Caesar, we shall find him a shrewd contriver, and his means, if he improve them, may stretch so far as to annoy us all, which to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too bloody. Caius Cassius to cut the head off and then hack the limbs? Like wrath in death and envy afterwards. Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrificers, but not butchers, Caius. We all stand up against the spirit of Caesar, but in the spirit of men there is no blood. Oh, that we could come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar. But alas, he must bleed for it. And gentle friends, let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully.
But yet I fear him for the engrafted love he bears of
No,
Caesar.
Cassius, think not of him. If he loves Caesar, all that he can do is take thought and die for Caesar. And that were much he should, for he's given to sports, wildness, and much company.
There is no fear of him. Let him not die, for he will live on and laugh at this hereafter. It's time to part.
Oh, I think it is not met. Caesar should come to the capital today, for he has grown superstitious of late, far from the great opinion he held once of fantasy, dreams, and ceremonies. Ooh, we shall. Oh, it may be these apparent prodigies, the unaccustomed terrors of this night, and the persuasion of his augurers may hold him from the capital today.
Never fear that, for if he be so resolved, I can o'ersway him. For he loves to hear that unicorns can be betrayed with trees, and lions with toils, and men with flatterers. But when I tell him that he hates flatterers, he says he does, being then so flattered. Yeah, let me work, and let me bring him to the capital today.
No, we will all of us be there to fetch him.
By the 8th hour, is that the uttermost?
Be that the uttermost. Fail not then.
The morning comes upon us. We'll leave you, Brutus. But friends, disperse yourselves, but all remember what you have said, and show yourselves true Romans.
Good friends, look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks put on our purposes, but bear it as our Roman actors do, with untired spirits and formal constancy. Good morrow to you, everyone. Surprise you now, 'tis not for your weak condition thus to commit yourself to the raw cold morning, nor for yours neither. You ungently, Brutus, stole from your bed. And yesternight at supper you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. I asked you what the matter was, and you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answer not, but with an angry wafture of your hand bid me sign to leave you, so I did. I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief. I am not well in health, and that is all. Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means and come by it. Why, so I do. Good Portia, go to bed. Is Brutus sick? Is it physical to walk unembraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? What, is Brutus sick that he'll steal out his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night and tempt the rheumatory and unperturbed air to add on to his sickness? No, my Brutus, there is some sick offense within your
your mind, which by my right and virtue I ought to know. And upon my knees I charm you by my once commended beauty, and by all the vows, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me as resort to you. For here have been some 6 or 7 who hide their faces even from the darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it expected I should know no secrets that appertain to you? I am yourself, but as it were in sort or limitation to keep you at meals and comfort your bed and talk to you, sometimes dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure. If it be no more, Portia is Brutus's harlot, not his wife.
Portia is Brutus's true and honorable wife, as dear to me as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then I should know this secret.
Ye gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Portia, go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I'll construe to thee, all the character of my sad brows. Leave me with haste.
You shall not stir out of your house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threatened me ne'er looked but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. There is one within, beyond the things we have heard and seen, recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. A lioness hath whelped in the streets, and graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce, fiery warriors fought upon the clouds in ranks and squadrons in right form of war, which trestled blood upon the Capitol. The noise of battle hurtled in the air. Horses did neigh, and dying men did groan, and ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall forth, for these things are to the world in general as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders I yet have heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come, when it will come. What say the augurers?
They would not have you to stir forth today. Plucking the entrails of the offering forth, they could not find a heart within the beast.
The gods do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart if he were to stay at home today for fear? No. Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well. Caesar is far more dangerous than he. We're 2 lions littered in one day, and I the elder and more terrible. And Caesar shall forth.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in this house and not your own. We shall send Mark Antony to the Senate house, and he shall say, you are not sick today, that you are sick today. Let me, on my knees, prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humor I will stay at home today. Here comes Casca, he will tell them so.
Good morrow, worthy Caesar. All hail. I come to bring you to the Senate house.
And you are come in very happy time to bear my greetings to the senators and tell them I will not come today. That I cannot is false. That I dare not is falser. I will not come today, tell them so, Casca.
Say he is sick.
Should Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched mine arm so far to be afraid to tell graybeards the truth? Tell them I will not come today, Casca.
Most mighty Caesar, give me some reason, or lest I be laughed at if I tell them so.
The reason is in my will. I will not come today. That should be enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw my statua, which, like a fountain with 100 spouts, did run pure blood, and many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And these does she apply for warnings and portents and evils imminent, and on her knee hath begged I shall stay at home today.
Why, this dream is all misinterpreted. Your statue, spouting pipes of all blood, in which smiling Romans bathed their hands, signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood, and that great men shall beg for relics and tinctures, stains, and cognizance. This, by Calpurnia's dream, is signified.
And in this way have you well expounded it.
I have. Now you've heard what I can say. Know it now that on this day the Senate have concluded to give Caesar a crown. If you will tell them that you will not go, maybe their minds will be changed. Besides, were mockery apt to be rendered for someone to say, break off the Senate till another time, until Caesar's wife is met with better dreams. You shall hide yourself. Will they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid? Pardon, my Caesar. My dear love to our proceeding bids me tell you this, and reason to my love is liable.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia? I'm ashamed I did yield to them. Take my robe, for I will go today. Cinna, Metellus Cimber, Caesar was ne'er so much your enemy as that same ague which hath made you lean. What is the clock?
Caesar, 'tis struck an 8.
Thank you for your pains and your courtesies. See, Antony, who revels longer nights, is notwithstanding up. Good morrow, Antony.
Most noble Caesar.
Friends, come in and taste some wine with me, and we, like friends, shall straightway go together.
That every like is not the same. O Caesar, the heart of Brutus yearns to think upon. I would have had thee there and here again, ere I can tell thee what thou shouldst do there. O constancy be strong about my side, set a huge mountain between my heart and my tongue. Why dost thou stay? Madam, what should I do? Run to the capital and nothing else? And so return to you and nothing else? I must go in. See how weak a thing the heart of woman is. Brutus, the heavens speed thee in thine enterprise. Sure, the boy heard me. Brutus hath a suit that Caesar will not grant. Oh, I repent. Run, boy, commend me to thy lord. Say I am married, and come to me again. Bring me word what he doth say to me.
Times of march are come.
I, Caesar, but not gone.
Come to the capital. Trebonius knows his time, for look to Casca, he draws Mark Antony out of the way.
Where's Metellus Cimber? Well, let him go. Let us prefer our suit currently to Caesar.
Come, come.
Pass down. For the first that rears your hand.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, most puissant Caesar. Medalist Cimber throws before thy seat humble hearts.
I must prevent thee, Cimber. These couchings and these lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary men and turn preordinance and first decree into the law of children. Be not fond to think that Caesar bears such rebel blood that will be thawed from the true quality with that which melteth fools. I mean sweet words, low crooked curtsies, and base spaniel fawnings. Thy brother by decree is banished, and if thou would bend and fawn and pray for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. No, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause will he be satisfied.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that Publius Cimber may have an immediate freedom of repeal.
What, Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar, Caesar, pardon. As low as to thy foot doth Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for Publius Cimber.
I could be well moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me, but I am constant as the northern star, of whose true fixed and resting quality there is no fellow in firmament. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks. They are all fire, and every one doth shine, but there is one and all doth hold his place. So in the world, 'tis furnished well with men, and men are all flesh and blood and apprehensive, yet in the number do I know but one doth hold his rank, unassailable, unshaken of motion, and that I am he. Let me in a little show in this, that I was constant, Cimber should be banished, and constant do remain to keep him so.
Caesar!
What hence wilt thou hold up Olympus?
Great Caesar!
Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak! Hands for
Be quiet!
Et tu, Brute? Then fall, Caesar!
Liberty! Freedom! Tyranny is dead! Run hence, proclaim crying about in the streets.
Some to the common pulpits and cry out, liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement!
People and senators, be not affrighted. Fly not, stand stiff, ambition's debt is paid.
Go to the pulpit, Brutus, and you too, Cassius.
Stand fast, lest some friend of Caesar should chance.
Talk not of standing.
Cicero, good cheer, there is no harm intended to your person, nor to no Roman else, so tell them, Cicero.
Yes, leave us, Cicero, lest the people rushing on us should do your age some mischief.
Do so, let no man abide this deed but we the doers.
Where is Antony?
Fled to his house amazed. Men, women, children cry, stare out, and run as it were doomsday.
Fates, we will know your pleasures, that we shall die. We know 'tis but the time and drawing days out that men stand upon.
He that cuts off 20 years of life cuts off so many years of fearing death.
Grant that, and so are we Caesar's friends who have abridged his time of fearing death. Stoop! Romans, stoop! Let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood and besmear our swords. Then walk we forth, even to the marketplace, and waving our red weapons are our hands. Let us cry peace, freedom, and liberty!
Stoop then and wash, so oft shall we be called the people that gave their country liberty!
What shall we for?
Yes, every man away. Brutus shall lead, and we shall grace his heels with the most noblest and best hearts of Rome.
Soft! Who comes here, a friend of Antony's?
Thus Brutus did my master bid me kneel. Thus Mark Antony bid me fall down, and being prostrate, thus he bade me say, Brutus is noble, wise, valiant, and honest. Caesar was mighty, bold, royal, and loving. Say I love Brutus and honor him. Say I feared Caesar, honored him, and loved him. If Brutus will vouchsafe that Mark Antony may safely come to him and be resolved, how Caesar hath deserved to lie in death, Mark Antony shall not love Caesar dead, as well as Brutus living, but will follow the fortunes and affairs of noble Brutus. Thorough the hazards of this untrod state with all true faith. So says my master Antony.
Thy master is a wise and valiant Roman. I never thought him worse. Tell Antony so please him come unto this place. He shall be satisfied, and by my honor depart untouched.
I'll fetch him presently.
I know that we shall have him well to friend.
Oh, I wish we may. My mind still fears him much, and my misgivings still fall
Here
smooth.
comes Antony. Welcome, Mark Antony.
Oh, mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquest, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. Next, Caius Crassus, do I take your hand? Yours, Metellus. Yours, Cinna. And my valiant Prosper, yours. Though last, not last in love, yours, good Trebonius. Gentlemen all, alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways you must conceit me, either a coward or a flatterer. That I did love thee, Caesar, oh, 'tis true. If then thy spirit look upon us now, shall it not grieve thee dearer than thy death? To see thy Antony making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes, most noble in the presence of thy corse. How like a deer strucken by many princes dost thou here lie.
Mark Antony.
Pardon me, Caius Cassius. The enemies of Caesar shall say this, then in a friend it is cold modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so, but what compact mean would you have with us? Will you be pricked in number of our friends, or shall we on and not depend on you?
Therefore I took your hands, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends, am I with you all and love you all upon this hope, that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else were this a savage spectacle. Our reasons are so full of good regard, that were you, Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I see. And am moreover suitor that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you. You know not what you do you not consent that Antony speak at his funeral. How do know you what the people, how much they may be moved by what he will utter?
By your leave, I will myself to the pulpit first.
Oh, I like not what may fall.
Mark Antony, here, take you Caesar's body. You will not in your speech blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission, else you shall have no hand at all about his funeral. And you will speak in the same pulpit whereto I am going after my speech is ended.
Be it so, I do desire no more.
And prepare the body and follow us.
That I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds now do I prophesy, which like dumb mouths do ope their ruby lips to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar, that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants cornered with the hands of war. All pity choked with custom of fell deeds,
And Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, with Ate by his side, come hot from hell, shall in these confines with a monarch's voice cry havoc, and let slip the dogs of war, that these foul deeds shall smell above the earth with carrion men groaning for burial. You serve Octavius Caesar, do you not?
I do, Mark Antony.
Caesar did right for him to come to Rome.
He did receive your letters and is coming, and bid me say to you by word of mouth, "Oh, Caesar,
Is thy master coming?
he lies tonight within 7 leagues of Rome."
Prospectus be to tell him what chance. Here is a morning Rome, a dangerous Rome, no Rome of safety for Octavius yet. Lend me your hand. Lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor. Have respect to mine honor that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom, and awake your senses that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar, to him I say, that Brutus Caesar, this is my reply. Not you rather Caesar were living, to die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead, to live all free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. And there are tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who here is so base that he would be a bondman? If any speak, for 'tis him I have offended. Who is here so vile that he would not love his country? If any speak, for 'tis him I have offended. Who is here so rude he would not be a Roman? If any speak, for him I have offended. I pause for reply. None have I offended. Here comes Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in Caesar's death, receives the benefit of his dying, a place in the commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this I depart, and as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself when it should please my country to need my death. My countrymen, let me depart alone. For my sake, stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace his speech tending to Caesar's glories, which by our permission, Antony is allowed to make. We're back to speaking of Homer's here.
Peace,
To bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all the honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? No. When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? No. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I come not to speak to disprove what Brutus has spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, and not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? For judgment thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me, my heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me. Now he lies there, and none so poor to do him reverence. Oh, masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong. and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men, I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I will wrong such honorable men. But here is a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet, 'tis his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read.
They read it!
Patient, gentle friends, I must not read it. It is not meet, you know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood, you are not stones, but men, and being men bearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. 'Tis good you know not you are his heirs, for if you should, what will come of it?
Read the will.
Will you be patient? Will you stay a while? I have o'ershot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors. Honorable men?
They were villains, murderers!
You will compel me then to read the will?
No!
Then make a ring! And let me show you him. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time Caesar ever put it on. Look, in this place ran Cassius' dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Through this the well-beloved Brutus stabbed, and as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it as rushing out of doors, to be resolved if Brutus so unkindly knocked or no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's enemy. Judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all, for when the noble Caesar saw him stabbed, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished him. Then burst his mighty heart, and in his mantle, muffling up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statue, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. And oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen! Then I and you and all of us fell down whilst bloody treason flourished over us. I have not friends to steal away your hearts. I am no orator as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain, blunt man that love my friend. And that they know full well that gave me public leave to speak of him. For I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, their word, Antony, would ruffle up your spirits and move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny! Let not a traitor live! Yet hear me, countrymen, yet hear me speak. Here is the will, and under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man, 75 drachmas. 75 drachmas. Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbors and new planted orchards on this side of Tiber. He hath left them you and to your heirs forever, calm in pleasures to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar, when comes such another?
Go! He and Lepidus are at Caesar's house.
And thither will I straight to visit him. He comes upon a wish, and fortune is merry. In this mood, it will give us anything.
I heard him say that Brutus and Cassius are rid like madmen to the gates of Rome.
Belike they had some notice of the people, how I had moved them. Bring me to Octavius.
Answer every man directly.
What is my name? Whither am I going? Where do I dwell? And am I a married man or a bachelor? Then to answer every man directly and truly, honestly, I say to you, I am a bachelor.
That's as much as to say, they are fools that marry. You'll bear me a bang for that, I fear. Proceed directly.
Directly, I am going to Caesar's funeral.
As a friend or an enemy?
As a friend.
For your dwelling briefly?
Briefly, I dwell by the capital.
But your name, sir, truly.
My name is Cinna.
Consent you, Lepidus.
I do consent, then he shall not live. Look, the spot, I damn him. But Lepidus, go you to Caesar's house and fetch the will hither, and we shall determine how to cut off some charges and legacies.
What, shall I find you here?
or here, or at the Capitol.
And now, Octavius, listen, great thinkers. Brutus and Cassius are Levian cowards. We must straight make heed. Therefore, let our alliance be combined, our best friends made, our means stretched, and let us presently go sit in council how covert matters may be best disclosed, and open perils sure.
Let us do so. For we are at
All feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. The old Turco will feel with joy, hurrah, hurrah, to welcome home our darling boy, hurrah, hurrah. The village lads and lassies say when roses they will strew away. We'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home.
Ho! Most noble brother, you have done me wrong.
Cassius, be content. Speak your grief softly, I do know you well. But before our armies here, who should receive nothing but love from us, let us not wrangle. Bid them move further off, that in my tent enlarge your griefs, and I will give you audience. Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm to sell and march your offices for gold to undeservers.
I, an itching palm? You know that you are Brutus that speak this, or by the gods, this speech where else shall that?
The name of Cassius honors this corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide his head.
Chastisement?
Remember March. The eyes of March remember. Did not great Julius bleed for justice' sake? What villain touched his body that did stab and not for justice? What? Shall one of us who struck the foremost man of all the world, but now for supporting robbers, shall we contaminate our fingers with base bribes, and sell the mighty spaces of our large honors for so much trash as may be grasped thus? Ha! I had rather be a dog, and bay the moon than such a Roman.
Brutus, bay not me. I'll not adore it. You forget yourself. I am a soldier, older and precise, able in yourself to make conditions.
Go to! You are not, Cassius!
I am.
I say you are not!
Oh, you forget yourself. Have mind upon your health. Tempt me no further.
Away, slight man!
Is it possible?
Cassius. Such corruption! Cassius.
Oh, Brutus. Oh, Brutus, when Caesar lived, he durst not have tempted me.
Peace, peace, you durst not so have tempted him.
I durst not?
No.
What does not have tempted him?
For your life you durst not.
Oh, do not presume too much upon my love. I will do that which I shall be sorry for.
You have done that you should be sorry for. I did send you for certain sums of gold to pay my legions, which you denied me. Was that done like Cassius? Should I have answered Caius Cassius so? When Marcus Brutus grows so covetous to lock such rascal counters from his friends, be ready! Gods, with all your thunderbolts, dash him to pieces!
I denied you not.
You did!
I did not. He was but a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus hath rived my heart. A friend should bear his friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not.
You...
Till you practice them on me.
Oh, you love me not.
I do not love your faults.
A friendly eye could not see such faults.
A flatterer's would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Oh, Brutus, I did not think you could have been so angry. Give me your hand.
And my heart too. I'm sick of many griefs, Cassius. But give me a bowl of wine, and in that I'll bury all of kindness. Welcome, good Messala. Now sit we close about this taper here, and call into question our necessities. I have myself letters that young Octavius and Mark Antony come on to us with a greater power than before, bending their expedition towards Philippi.
Myself have letters of the self-same tenor.
With what addition?
That by prescription and bills about Lowry, Octavius, Lepidus, and Antony have put to death 100 senators.
Oh.
Therein, our letters do not well agree. Mine speak of 70 senators put to death by their prescriptions, Cicero being one.
Oh, then, Brutus, we will along ourselves and meet them at the Philippi.
Everything is well.
Good night, my lord.
Good night, good brother. What a sleepy tune this is.
I'm sorry.
It is the weakness of mine eyes that brings this monstrous apparition on me. Art thou anything? Art thou some god, some angel, or some devil that makes my blood run cold and my hair to stare? Speak to me what thou art!
Thy evil spirit, Brutus,
Why comest thou?
tell thee thou shalt see me at the Philippi.
Now I have taken and come down with fearful bravery, thinking by this face to fasten in our thoughts that they have courage. 'Tis not so.
I heard that the enemy comes in gallant show. Down the left.
Make forth. The generals would have some words. Words before blows, is it so, countrymen?
Not that we love words better as you do.
Oh, well, good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius. In your bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, "Long live, hail Caesar!"
Antony, the posture of your blows are yet unknown. Oh, but for your words, they leave the hive bees and leave them honeyless.
We're not stingless, too.
Oh, yes, and soundless too, for you've stolen their buzzing, Antony, and wisely threat before you sting.
Villains, you did not so when your vile daggers hacked one another in the sides of Caesar. You showed your teeth like apes and bowed like bondmen, kissing Caesar's feet, whilst Casca, like a cur, struck Caesar behind in the neck. Oh, you flatterers.
Flatterers! Oh, thank yourself, Brutus, for this tongue hath not offended the day, if Cassius have ruled.
Come, the cause. If argued make us sweat, the proof of it will turn to redder drops. Look, I draw a sword against conspirators. When think you that sword go up again? Never! Till Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged, or till another Caesar hath added slaughter to the sword of traitors.
Oh, Caesar, thou canst not die by traitors' hands unless thou bringest them with thee.
So I hope. I was not born to die on Brutus' sword.
If thou wert the noblest of thy strain, young man, thou couldst not die more honorable.
A peevish schoolboy, worthless of such honor, thrown with a masker and a reveler!
Oh, Cassius, still! Come, Antony, away. Defiance, traitors. Hurl we in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have stomachs!
Swim, bark! Swell, billow, the storm is up, and all is on the hazard! Now, Brutus, the gods stand friendly today, that you and I, lovers in peace, may but lead our age to triumph. But the fate of men is yet still unknown. If we do lose this battle, this may be the last time we speak to each other. If then, what are you content to do? Are you prepared to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome?
No, no. Think not so, thou noble Roman, that ever Brutus will go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind. But this day must end the business the Ides of March begun. I know not if we shall see each other again. So now our everlasting farewell take. Forever and forever, farewell, Cassius. If we do see each other again, oh, we shall smile. But if not, this parting were well made.
Forever and forever, Brutus. If we win, we will smile indeed. If not, 'tis true, this parting were well made.
So lead on. That a man may know the day's business ere it come. But it sufficeth that the day will end. Then the end is known. Come, go away.
Come!
Retreat!
Mount thou my horse, and hide thy spurs in him. Go to yonder troops and see if they are friend or enemy.
I will, even with the thought.
Oh, this day that I did begin, time has come round. Where I did begin, I shall end. Sirrah, what news?
Oh, my lord.
What news? What news?
Titinius is enclosed round about with horsemen, yet he spurs on. Oh, now some light, Titinius! Oh, he is taken, and hark they cheer for joy.
Oh, come down, behold no more. Oh, what a coward that I am! To see my best friend taken before mine eyes. Sirrah, in Parthia I did take thee prisoner, and swore to thee that saving thy life, you bid whatever I'd say. Now, take this sword that did go through Caesar's bowels. Search this bosom. Stand not to answer. Take thou the hilts. And when my face is covered, as it is now, guide thou the sword. Caesar! Thou art revenged! Even with the sword that killed me!
So I am free. It would not so have been, just I had done my will. Oh, far from this country, Pindara shall run, where never Roman shall make note of him.
Oh, comfort Cassius. Where'd you leave him? At all disconsolate with his bondman warriors on this hill. Look, is that he that lie upon the ground? Oh, he lies not like the living. Is that not he? No, this was he, Messala, but Cassius is no more. Oh, setting sun, as in thy red rays thou dost sink tonight, so in Cassius's red blood his day is set. Our day is gone, the sun of Rome is set. Pindarus! Where art thou, Pindarus? Seek him, Titinius, whilst I go to noble Brutus and thrust this report unto his ears.
I am Messala, and I will seek Pindarus the while. Why didst thou send me forth, brave Cassius? Did not I meet thy friends? And did not they put upon my brow this wreath of victory and bid me give it thee? Take this on your brow. Brutus bid me give it thee, and I will do his bidding. Brutus, come apace and see how I regarded Caius Cassius. By your leave, gods, this is a Roman's part. Come, Cassius' sword, and find Titinius' heart. Where Messala doth his body lie?
Lo yonder, and Titinius boarding it.
Titinius' face is upward. Oh, Julius Caesar, thou art mighty, yet thy spirit walks abroad and turns our swords into our own proper interest. The last of all Romans, fare ye well. Shall ever Rome breathe thy fellow? Friends, I owe more tears to this dead man than you will see me pay. I shall find time, Cassius. I shall find time. Slaying is the word indeed, it is style in fact. Partly like.
What? I, my lord? No, not
Peace,
for all the world.
Peace said no word.
I'll rather kill myself.
Partly, Titinius.
Shall I do such a deed?
What ill request did Brutus make to thee?
To kill him, Clytus. Look, he meditates.
Now is that noble vessel so full of grief that it runs over even at his eyes?
Hark thee, Dardanius. List a word,
What says my lord?
but this, Dardanius. The ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me. 2 several times by night at Sardis once, and this last night on the fields of Philippi. I know my hour is come.
Not so, my lord.
Nay, but I know it is. Dardanius, thou seest the world, how it goes, that our enemies have beat us to the pit. 'Tis more honorable to jump in ourselves than tarry till they push us. Good Dardanius, thou knowest that we two went to school together. If not for more than that love of old, I prithee hold down my sword hilt while I do run on it.
That is not office for a friend, my lord.
Fly, my lord! Fly! There is no tarrying here.
The heart of Brutus yearns to think that I met no man, but he was true to me. Fare thee well at once, for Brutus's tongue hath almost ended his life history. Night hangs upon mine eyes, and my bones would rest that have but tarried to attain this hour.
Run, fly, my lord! Fly!
Hence,
Go.
hence I will follow.
Go.
Strato, Strato, keep me by thy lord. Thou art an honorable man, thy life hath but a badge of honor in it. I prithee, turn away thou bit, and hold my sword hilt while I just run on it. Wilt thou, Strato?
Give me your hand first. Fare you well, my lord.
Farewell, Strato. Caesar! Now be still, I killed thee not with half so good a will.
What man is that? Brutus's man. Where is thy master, Strato?
Free from the bondage you are in. The conquerors can but make a fire of him, but Brutus only overcame himself, and no man hath honored by his death.
How died thy master, Strato?
I held the sword, and he did run on it.
This was the noblest Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. He only, in general honest thought and common good to all, made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say it to all the world, this was a man.
According to his virtue, let us use him with all respect and rites of burial. Within my tent, tonight his bones shall lie, most like a soldier, ordered honorably. So calm a field to rest, and let's away, to part the glories of this happy day.